Hi, I'm Gabrielle, and you're watching Pennsylvania Pipeline Music TV, and I'm here with.
I'm Jimmy Lovcik. I am a local bass player based here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
I'm Joe Lorenzo. I'm a local bass player too. Played in bands, most recently Sucker Punch and TV Blonde.
Oh, awesome. Where have you played in? Well, what bands?
Who's the fill-in?
I play with a band called Lumpy Gravy. I play with a band called Linden Farley. I play with a band called White Witch.
Oh,
I play with a band called the Dirty Mojo Blues Band. I play with a band called Big Daddy Bangers. And a couple of others I fill in with here and there.
We do the Random Acts thing with Tony Harlan.
We do,
together.
with Tony, yeah.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I just started another band with Jesse and Gary Lynn. Carnage Carousel.
I should also mention I play with my longtime friends Keith Cole, Keith Davis, Greg Sowers. We do various recording projects locally.
Okay, awesome.
Oh, yeah. I have some. We'll get to that probably later.
And there's websites for all these bands, right? Everyone can find you that.
I don't know. Not really.
I'd say Facebook pages,
Yeah,
right, Joe?
there's Facebook pages for most of the stuff. But who knows how well it's kept up? The bands come and go, and
But most of them are on there that someone could find the
there's plenty
music.
to find on Facebook. Yeah.
Awesome. And where are you guys originally from?
I grew up in Texas and moved up here as a teenager, and was not thrilled to be moving from a big metropolis like Dallas to little Williamsport, but I love it here now. Been here for quite a few years.
Oh, that's hysterical. The little Williamsport. I grew up in a tiny town almost near the New York border, and I came to college here in gigantic Williamsport, and this was a city to me. I had played here for a while in a few bands. I went to college here, and I moved down south for a few years, and was a house musician at the House of Blues in Myrtle Beach, and then we toured the Southeast a lot. But about 10 years, I think, I came back to Pennsylvania, and I've been hanging out in Williamsport for the last 5 years, playing with a few bands around here. Again, some people that I played with when I was a kid.
Well, that's awesome. And it's so funny, like, how two different eyes of life see a city.
Tiny Williamsport and
to a big one.
The biggest city I've ever been to.
It's amazing. Different paths of life.
Right.
What are your biggest influences?
Musically, I guess I started off as more of I wouldn't say a metalhead. I loved the hard rock. I loved Rush. I loved Van Halen. I got into all kinds of stuff back in the day, and then kind of gravitated towards getting into blues music, because that's ZZ Top and Stevie Ray Vaughan were the kings of the roost down there in Texas, at least on the radio. And then through the years, I listened to almost anything now. Not much in the classical realm, but it's odd, but I really like what's called library music, which is sort of theme song music for TV shows from back in the day.
Okay.
I can listen to that for hours. I keep some instrumental stuff playing when I'm at work doing things.
Oh, really? I play the most crazy, obnoxious music at work as loud as I can, just to let everybody know that I know who Alan Holdsworth is. My biggest influence, I started playing when I was really young, and I was kind of into it. You know how you play for a while, you learn a couple songs, and then, I was a kid, so remote control cars and bicycles would become more interesting for a while. But it was the David Lee Roth Skyscraper. It was a cassette tape, came out, and I heard Billy Sheehan and Steve Vai playing together for the first time, and I was like, oh wait, this can be this. And everything changed from then, and I always was kind of the snobby outcast, or I really liked guys like Billy Sheehan, and then I found King's X, and Doug Pinnick, and he's my hero. So I don't where were we with the question?
Your biggest influences.
Oh,
So
yeah.
You're
Yeah, so Billy Sheehan and Doug Pennick are huge to me. And a really important group when I was growing up to me was Extreme as well. And that was Pat Badger. He wasn't really known for the bass player, and I always wondered if Nuno probably wrote his parts and told him what to play. Because he seems like that kind of dude. But I always really liked Extreme, and that's what we were just talking about. I like the music that's really set and more than the free flow jam blues stuff. I really like German music too, like Rammstein. I can't wait to see them in concert. It's like the last one on my bucket list.
That would be fun.
Jimmy's like, oh.
It's funny you talk about that, Joe.
You were in a band called Strawberry Jam.
I was. That
right?
was jam music.
That was.
But I'm like you. I grew up on. I saw the David Lee Roth Eat 'Em and Smile tour in 1986 as a teenager.
Right. You made the guitar
amazing. And also I loved Extreme. I think I got into them on the second album, then went back and bought the first. The third album was a shift up, but it's a great record.
They're all different. The third one was that the Waiting for the Punchline.
And I think that was the fourth. The third one was there was one called Three Sides to Every Story.
Oh yeah, that was the long one. That was probably the one I listened to the most. And then Waiting for the Punchline. That was a very depressing album, but I was also going through a very depressed time, so
right.
it was an interesting one. But then they had Saudis of Rock after that, which really kicked ass. I just love them all. Even their latest one, that new song "Beautiful Girls," that's cool.
It is great. Their stuff, the recent stuff kills.
Yeah, that guitar solo reminds me of they did that song for Big Bill and Ted, and the guitar solo in the middle of an acoustic song about girls is like all of a sudden it goes back to the Bill and Ted guitar solo. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, I was really thinking when you're saying the depressed music, I think we all have an album of a band that we really enjoy that went a little emo or a little depressing, and you needed it in a time of your life. And that's what makes you really love your bands, because they were there for you in your struggle and everything like that. But and then you guys mentioned shows, going to concerts and stuff. So do you have any coming up that everyone could go see and hear you guys play?
I do. I don't. I'm horrible at keeping track of that. I've got a couple of bar gigs with Big Daddy Bangers here in the next few weeks, and then into January some more stuff with them, into February as well. And they play sort of regionally. They get down near Joe. They play locally, as in up here. It just depends what the schedule says.
And will your Facebook page have these?
Their Facebook page will, and if I remember to put it up on mine, it will as well.
Okay, awesome. How about you?
The only thing I have coming up, like I said, I just recently started a new project. We have a show in the middle of January. It's a benefit. I know we don't have a Facebook page yet because we only practiced for the second time 2 days ago. So. But I will make sure that I do put that on my Facebook page and put links to the new band site up there. But Brian probably needs to get to work on that if you're watching this.
You hear that, Brian? Gotta get to work. Is there any places you love to eat that you perform at, or even just in your area that you want to give a shout out to?
I'm going to say here in Williamsport, I don't know if this counts for you. And it's been a couple of years since I've been there, unfortunately, but Franco's is always.
I've never been there.
Oh, it's so good.
I talked about going there with Chris. No, I've never been there before. My favorite place in Williamsport is Humpty Dumpty's.
I love the name.
Still there.
I used to go to the one in South Williamsport. Is that still there?
Was it Humpty Dumpty's or the Humdinger?
No, it was Humpty Dumpty's.
I don't know that that's still there, but the one near our friend's shop on the Creek Road is still there, yes.
Near our friend's shop. Can we say the name, or is that advertising?
No, that's why we're asking.
Next to Gross Tire on Twimming Creek Road. with Cheeseman, another amazing bass player who should be here.
Eric Berger.
All the great bass players here today, right? We need to have them here. And then, do you guys have any words of advice to anybody else, like trying to become a bass player or any musicians, bands?
Yeah, stay after it. Stay after it, and I remember well the days of holding the guitar. Oh, this thing hurts my fingers, and then
making them bleed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've done that a couple times.
Just absolutely being terrible and trying to impress a young lady and playing the guitar for her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, he's awful." But stay with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's way different now than it was when we started, and like with YouTube, we didn't have that. We had a cassette player that we wouldn't even hit stop because it was just too much time. We'd play and then hit reverse and play and just try and figure out what it was. We couldn't look at YouTube, so that made a totally different kind of player. And also with the internet, music, it's just sad, but it's just not as popular as it used to be.
I completely agree.
Especially music that's made by human beings. I know some younger people, and they're just not interested in it. They're happy to listen to computer EDM.
That's what I was going to say.
Some of those guys aren't talented too, but there's a lot more out there that it's just the computer.
We need to bring back.
Well, yeah, the world's changing. I don't know if you can bring stuff back. I think you just need to learn to evolve. It's what I've had to accept. Like back in the day, I always talk about back in the day when we would play. They would bring enough PA that when the drummer hit the kick drum, the top of the toilet in the bar and whichever restroom you were in would rattle like that, and now it's with the digital equipment and everything, it's easier to get the same sound at a lower volume.
Yes.
And nobody really wants to hear it that loud anymore. Apparently the ringing in my ears is troubling to other people. Yeah, it's not the same, but like he said, stay at it and play with other people. I think that's a direction that the youth has gone wrong.
They're not picking up the instruments and playing with each other anymore. Really.
Right, they're playing by themselves and they're making 15-second clips.
Yep.
And albeit some of them are amazing, you know what I mean? But like I always said, like when I'm playing, most of the time when people are watching me, I'm a bumbling idiot. But then when nobody's watching, I'll do amazing things, and that never gets recorded. But if all you're doing is sitting in your bedroom and recording everything you do, eventually you're going to get 15 seconds of cool that you can post on the internet. But it's not the same as playing with other people. You don't get the same feeling. I think that's where the sort of addiction, where it gets into you, to where once you've been playing as long as me and Jimmy, you kind of have to play at some level. Your brain just won't let you not play with other people, even if it's very minimal. We're getting older. When I was younger, I had to play 3-4 times a week, and to be happy.
Yeah.
And so advice. Yeah.
That's what Billy Sheehan says.
What's that?
Go out and play live.
Go out and play live. Yeah.
Get out there and play.
Yeah, because if nobody plays, there's not going to be any concerts left. There's not going to be any shows, and that's when people are going to realize, oh my God, where's that feeling again? And they're not going to get it from the internet.
Yep.
Some advice I've given other people before too is the best way to get into a band is to already be in a band.
Yeah.
If you're just sitting at home, it's not going to happen. You need to get out there, play with you know, with who you can, with what you can. You know, nobody ever gets to do exactly what they want. If they did, nobody would come and see my band. If we played all the songs I wanted to play, but do something. Get out there, meet people, and on your nights off, you don't have to go out every weekend. You're not playing, but go see other bands.
Yeah, because then you can promote.
That's I even have some friends, they don't understand when they're doing something, nobody comes to see them. And it's like, well, when was the last time you went to see anybody? So
exactly.
You know, not that you have to do that, but yeah.
If you want to find people to support you, you gotta go support others, and then you make connections and contacts and things like that to bring more people to your show.
Or you can wait for something magical happen and you become, the next viral.
Yeah.
The guy that wrote the song about the guys north of Richmond or whatever.
Right.
Or what did the fox say? Thank God that's gone.
Oh God, that was probably a computer.
Right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming here today, and thank you for all your words of advice.
I want to thank all three of you, Joe, Jimmy, and Gabrielle, for coming and doing this.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having me.